So I think now is the time that I want to do a tier list. So, and I do not expect me to get this done well, but I will be curious. Like, let me know, guys, how accurate you think this 2v2 tier list is going to be. I'll try to give some of my reasonings for this, but I also have not been playing the season. I've been doing, like, mostly level grinding to get Glemium and get levels up, get a few characters up to level 15. That's basically all I've been doing. So, this is going to be my 2v2 tier list because I like 2v2 more than 1v1. This could be from me, the Filthy Casual. I am the Filthy Casual here. And yeah, let's tier list this bad boy. So first we got Shaggy. I'm gonna leave some of my higher level characters for last because I figure I can guess them better. Shaggy. Wait, how long have I been going? I've been going about an hour. I'm gonna get up and take a stretch break, and then we'll come back doing a tier list. Let me know, guys, who you think should go where while I'm gone. Pixel, I'm sure you know best where Jake and Finn should go, so just let me know on that. Let me read, my dude. Alright, I'm back, guys. Marceline Downs. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, we'll get to Marceline Down Special in a little bit. But first, let's get to Shaggy. So, Shaggy. I feel like Shaggy's a pretty solid character. Obviously, they made him the kind of staple character for a reason that you unlock. The character that you unlock for a reason, you know, the starting tutorial character. He's got some strong moves. He's got crazy legs he can use in the air, which is he's got some decent anti-armor. When you say decent, he's got good anti-armor abilities with like his down attack on the ground, his nair in the air, I think are both good anti-armor. Got a sandwich for a projectile that he can use with an ally that can be surprisingly effective. Like, there's times I'm playing as like a gizmo with somebody, and suddenly Shaggy starts throwing sandwiches, and I'm like, hey, nice try, jerk. And then I'm getting a bunch of sandwiches to my face, and I don't even know what to do about it. It's like, you freaking jerk, and then we lose. So, he has rage, which has been nerfed quite a bit, just because it was oppressive. Side special is one pretty good move. The Shaggy side special kick was infamous in the beta. It's slow, but it just was so hard to punish. He has some good ability to just ring you out easily. So, oh my gosh, no! I gotta get back. There we go, Gizmo. Play that funky music. Where's my... There we go. But I feel like he's been toned down enough to the point where he's solid, but nothing like as super crazy as it once was. And he can kind of get shut down by projectiles. He doesn't have a great anti-projectile ability. He has rage, which could be great for baiting out people. And he's pretty mobile. Which has been toned down in the full release, so he can't force you to chase him across the stage or chase you across the stage as much as he once was. That was one thing about the beta with like the speed of it. He could run, he could be chasing after you, just flailing at you, and you're like trying to run away, and then on a turn of a dime, he just runs over, jumps off stage, starts powering up his rage off stage, and while you're trying to decide if you should go chase him or not, he's already got rage charged up. So you have to kind of make split. He can kind of, in the beta, he kind of forced you to make those split-second decisions. Not as much inside the full release. So I'm gonna put him. I think he's still pretty good. Put him in A. Try A. Batman. Batman. So Batman's weird. Batman is pretty heavy now. He used to be one of the lightest characters. Now he's like middleweight. I don't know if he's quite as heavy as Shaggy. I can't remember now. I think they might have overtuned him a little bit. Could be wrong, but he used to be pretty light. Now he's pretty heavy. It kind of worked before in the beta, so it's whatever. Up special is pretty good. He has a dash attack that has armor break, which I feel like was a bit much to give him, considering there's a perk for that, so it kind of made that perk useless for Batman. When perks were already kind of losing a little bit of value for me, that's like, it's just negating perks even more. He has anti-projectile with his down special, although trying to rely on sitting aside his down special, Cloud, isn't exactly, I wouldn't say is the best maneuver to use, but you also get some bonuses in that now too when he's using it, so. But I wouldn't say he has super great anti-projectile. He has a Batarang, which is just really good. One of the best. Oh, you know what? Something I want to mention about Shaggy. Edit DJ, sorry about this. If there was a buff or nerf, I would give Shaggy. Buff or nerf. I kind of wanted to try to do that too. I don't know if I have any specific buffs or nerfs, just because Shaggy has been reworked so much. But if there is a nerf I would give him, I would nerf his rage to be on cooldown. And if there's a buff I would give him, is that when you do that, you then buff his rage specials again a little bit more. But yeah, I would say put his rage... In particular, Shaggy is one of the characters who doesn't have a cooldown. One of the few characters who doesn't have a cooldown. I don't know if there's really much for anybody else who does. And Velma is a character who helps reduce cooldowns. So Velma, a character from Scooby-Doo, can't help her partner Scooby-Doo with her down special. It's a synergy thing for me, and I would like to have Shaggy come more in line with that, where his Shaggy is able to utilize more cooldown ability, and that would be one area I'd put it. Maybe Sandwich too. Put Sandwich on a cooldown. You know what? But no, I think Rage on a cooldown would be what I do with Shaggy. Maybe this is an MVS request too, but that's what I would do with Shaggy. Nerf his cooldown, nerf his rage by putting on cooldown, and then buff his rage attacks a little bit. Yeah. Now Batman. Talk about Batman with his Batarang, which is possibly the best projectile in the game. It's pretty good. One of the best projectiles in the game. He's got Bat Bomb, which can make just getting hit by him dangerous. He's got his side grapple, which is good for a mix-up. Up special, which is good at catching people and ringing them out. Well, I think it's been nerfed a bit now, so in the air it's not as devastating. Which is what they do with a lot of up specials. Like Shaggy's up special in the air. Not gonna ring out as much. Then he also has his down attack, which is now... They did such weird stuff with his down attack. His down attack used to be a slide attack. In the beta, it used to be a slide attack. When he came out in this game, they added his slide attack onto his dash and made his down attack a sweep that breaks armor. In this, now his dash attack is a double punch. His down attack now is a slide that can go into that armor break sweep, which is also weird because I don't know when you're gonna need armor break on a multi-hit maneuver like that. And maybe it's such a weird choice to do with Batman. You can either just do a slide attack into a sidekick, which is good, or you can do a slide attack into a sweep, which is not as good, I guess. Maybe it's good. I don't know, but it's such a weird choice to do with Batman with some of these things. Any nerfs for Batman? The nerf I would do is make his double punch when he's running not break armor. The buff, any buffs I would give to Batman. He's pretty good all around. Make his cloud, make his smoke cloud more. Make his smoke cloud apply the anti-projectile buff for a few seconds. Instead of having to stand in it, well, you do have to stand in it, but once you stand in it and you leave, you still have the buff for like a second after you leave the cloud. So that way, if you're running from someone and they try to throw a projectile as you're leaving the cloud, it'll still miss you. Something like that. Like, that's what I would say. And as far as where we put Batman, I put him up here over Shaggy. I still think he's really good. Like, I would probably say Shaggy's a little bit lower, Batman's a little higher. Jake. Jake has been considered bad. He's got some weird moves. Like, his up air doesn't really connect very well with itself. His neutral attack has been revamped in ways that are just is weird to me. I don't really understand it. Down splits is good. I like his down splits move. He's got some good range and stuff. He down splits is also good anti-armor. I think he's got some. I think his Nair in the air is also has an anti-armor move on the second hit, which can be useful. You can eat people, which is good for giving teammates armor and also cheesing stocks. He's got the Horsey, which is good for kind of just moving around and avoiding things. So he's got the House, which is an anti-projectile. He's got the Stretchy thing, which can save teammates, or I'm pretty sure Pixel saved me with that one time on accident. Well, I know he saved you one time, but you said it was on accident, so... he's a quirky character, though. He's a little hard to get some of his attacks to hit, but he does have the range. I don't know where I put him. I think he's a little bit too sluggish to be super great, so I'm gonna put him here. It doesn't really seem like he has a lot of combos he can do. He kind of just hits people and then chases them. Horsey. Finn. Now, Finn seems pretty good. Yeah, he's still got his ability to combo into things. He's got anti-projectile on the side special. He's got... Does his Nair... Is his Nair anti-armor? Like his kick in the air. That used to be anti-armor. I don't know if that breaks armor anymore. If that's not the case, then I guess he loses a little bit more value. But yeah, he has anti-armor and his down attack on the ground, which isn't bad. Which can also spike people. He's got his ability to wind up his attacks on the ground. It's pretty handy. He's got his money system, which can be pretty good. The BMO chop, which is pretty powerful, pretty good. I think it also... The high five can reflect projectiles. It's hard to time and probably not worth going for, but I'll try going for it. What else can I say about Finn? He seems like a pretty good character. He's got disjoints. Oh, you know, I forgot to say what move I would buff or nerf on Jake. Dang it, I forgot, guys. Okay, one move I would nerf on Jake is... Well, that's a tougher one. Because he's not like super great as it is. Maybe nerf his eat so he can't... I don't really want to nerf his eat. I know one buff I would give him is make his up air connect better with the second hit. Maybe if it's like the first hit of up air like pulls them down a little bit even into the second hit. Some kind of fixed knockback control maybe. But yeah, that nerfs, I guess. Yeah, we'll let's nerf his eat so that once he falls off a ledge, he spits him out automatically. Yeah, that's it. Can't jump, and then he falls and spits him out automatically. That's what his eat does. That's his nerf. Okay, Finn. Where were we at with Finn? We were talking about Finn a little bit. He's got the backpack abilities. His up special is pretty good. They've nerfed it now to not be multi-hit, which I think is fine. Just a single hit, I think is fine with that. I think he's pretty good. I'm gonna put him. Oh, do I put him S tier? I think we put him S tier, right? Well, yeah, he just seems like at least low S. There's not too much I could think is wrong with Finn. He just seems pretty good. Ability to combo, ability to anti-projectile, anti-armor. If there's any buffs I would give Finn, make sure his Nair is anti-armor. And if there's any nerfs I would give Finn, reduce the size of his down air, because I feel like his down air is still huge. It's been a while since I've used air down special can scale with money based on a perk. Yeah, that's also a good thing to remember with him. His money does extra damage. His backpack attacks deal extra damage with money, so pretty nice. That's a perk I like using with him. But if I were to nerf something, I would say make his dare a little bit smaller. If I recall, I think, at least in the beta, I'm pretty sure it would just be this wall that encompasses his entire body and just hits below him, and good priority. It's just so hard to avoid. It's a good spike. If I were to nerf it, I would nerf that to be, oh, hi Crim, thanks for the hello. How you doing, Crim? Yeah, if I would say a nerf for him, size of the down air. Either so it doesn't hit above him, it's a little bit more narrow, it doesn't cover his whole body as well, maybe. Stuff like that. But yeah, I would nerf his dare a little bit. Okay, this is probably going to be controversial. Harley Quinn. I don't think Harley Quinn is that busted. I think she's good. I think she's solid, but she's very light. Tied for lightest in the game with Gizmo and Arya. She's got some interesting projectiles, but they require setup. She's got some pretty good moves. Her neutral attack on the ground is an armor break. Her dash attack could be a decent armor break, but requires it has a little bit of wind up, so make it tricky. Her ability to do different attacks from different angles is pretty nice. Like, she's got a slide attack that she can do with her down attack. That's good for getting low profiling things and getting under and hitting people like that. She's got some combo moves in the air, which can be nice. Her mallet in the air is also pretty good for just swinging in on. Her confetti gun and ability to ignite people is good for extra damage. But she doesn't have a lot of good anti-projectile, and her projectiles aren't that imposing compared to some other characters. So I feel like she can kind of get shut down by projectiles more than some other characters. Plus, she's light. She has some decent ability to ring out people, but they've also nerfed her up special to high heaven. Like, that thing just does not perform as well as Joker's crowbar or Bugs Bunny's bat. So it's just her up special is a little, it doesn't even go anywhere. So it's, I'll put her, I think she's good. I just don't think she's super busted. I think she's better than Jake though, maybe. Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman got a buff on this last season where her shield reflects projectiles. It was already good at negating projectiles, so she was already good at being anti-projectile. She has her Nair in the air is a decent anti-armor. They buffed her side air to be stronger, while making it weaker towards the hilt, which I guess is fine. It was already seemed like one of her better approaching options, so it was weird to buff it like that. They nerfed her side special attack a little bit, which I thought was a little weird. I think it's but it depends, I guess, what the other figures are on that move, so I can't see that. So as long as the side special is stronger than the side air, because I feel like the side special should be stronger than the side air. It's harder to hit with, and it's, yeah. She's got some good armor abilities. Her whip gives armor to allies. Her down special gives armor to allies. She's able to kind of mash on people pretty well. I don't know if she's got the best combos, and sometimes lining up some of her attacks can be tricky, like her whip, her down air. Her nair is sometimes a little tricky to connect with. Stuff like that. But overall, he feels really good. She's either high A or low S. I feel like just everything being heavy, being as kind of mobile as she is. Being able to reflect projectiles is good. I think I'm putting her there. Like, I remember one of the last times I played online with the arena, I actually was streaming that. I was like, I'm not a good Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman's just good, so it didn't matter. And plus, Laree was Finn, which she wasn't really a good Finn, but Finn's good, doesn't matter. It's a good combo right there, I tell you what. You grossest team on the planet. Alright, Superman. They buffed Superman's speed, which I don't know if that was necessary. Oh yeah. Buffs or nerfs to Harley. I forgot about this. God dang it. Buff to Harley. Buff to Harley would be buff her up special to go a little bit farther, do a little more damage. Nerf to Harley. Nerf her slide to not kill as well. I think those would be the main two things. Yeah. Maybe make her heavier too. Instead of maybe buffing her up special, maybe make her heavier. Just a little heavier, yeah. I feel like she'd be a little tougher. A little tougher than a Gizmo and an Arya. Superman. I'm actually gonna do Superman later because he's a level 15 for me, so yeah, we won't do Superman right now. Steven. This is another character I'm not super aware of, but Steven has the ability to do shield in the air and on the ground and for his ally. Thankfully, when they added shields, it kind of brought more characters in line with Steven's abilities there, so I think that was a fine change. He has I think his shields too are able to, well, obviously his shields will block projectiles because they stick out, but I think like his side air is another one too that reflects projectiles, or maybe it just breaks them, but he's got a decent anti-projectile. He's got I think his down attack on the ground is anti-armor. I don't know how many of his other moves are anti-armor. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of things here that I don't know about some of the other characters I haven't played as much, especially in recent months. Steven is one of them. But he's got some decent damage output, decent ability to combo, putting up his shield, which can get himself comboed at times too, so you have to know what you're doing with him. High skill ceiling, I feel like, with Steven, but he could do a lot of crazy stuff, and I feel like in a 2v2 environment, the way he can kind of control the pacing is really good. I'm putting it up there. Like he's got his watermelon boy, which just adds a third person on his screen along with the two projectiles that he can stick out. He can do a skater boy thing just to screw with people. He can glide too. So he can glide in two different ways actually. He can glide normally and he can glide with his up special. I think Wonder Woman can glide too with her up special, but yeah, Batman can glide with his normal. Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Not that important, but yeah, I feel like Steven, with all the things he can do, I'd put him here. He's probably the 2v2 character. Possibly. Probably possibly. He's got a lot of good stuff he can do. Is there a nerf I would give Steven? Make it so that his shield doesn't go onto allies unless he takes a perk. Make a signature perk for him to give his shield to allies. There's a buff I could give Steven. Being way up here makes it harder to think of something. Maybe make him automatically tech when he gets smashed into one of his shields. Yeah. I think that would make sense, right? Now, whoever just heard that, me say that, Hakio, if you're listening, you don't necessarily need to do that. That seems like he's already good enough as it is. But you can do that if you really think it's a good idea. You know, who knows? Maybe Steven's not that good. Raid Dog. Now, they never brought Toasty in, so I'm sad. Hakio, I'm putting Toasty on my wish list also. He's like a smaller version of Rain Dog. Four-legged creature, but weighs as much as a gizmo. Rain Dog has some decent anti-armor with like his down attack on the ground. He's got some good projectiles. He's got a crystal that can follow him around with a signature perk, otherwise he just shoots lightning. He can kind of control space a lot with those two. He has a tether that he can help bring his partner back with from death. I never know when to time that. I think I've saved like one person with it, maybe in all my 1,000 hours of playing this game. Okay, maybe two. Maybe we save two people. He's got some interesting combo ability. His up special in the air, being able to roll into a ball and then just fly around, is great for getting out of disadvantage. He's got a lot of cool things he can do. I think he's just really good too. I think one of the main things is he doesn't necessarily have an anti-projectile besides just being able to spit out projectiles as well. So that could be a little bit of something to keep in mind, where you can keep him off balance a little bit more if you get projectile on him. But other than that, he feels really good. He maybe not quite the same disjoints in that, but decent combo game. I think I'm going to put him... I almost want to put him up here. We can't have everyone in S tier, can we? I'll put him... He's above Batman. I'll put him there. Yeah, I think he's better than Batman. And this music... This track's a jammer. Heard this one before. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny used to be busted in so many ways. So, Bugs Bunny has a lot of tools. He has a safe, one of the best projectiles in the game. Rocket, one of the best projectiles in the game. They nerfed his safe enough to the point where it's almost not good, but I still say it's pretty good. He's got a pie he can pull out of nowhere. He's got items he can pull out of nowhere. He's got Nair, which is great for juggling up people. His specials on his up inside special and cooldown are pretty good at just disrupting things. He's got... Nair's a good anti-armor as well. He doesn't have anti-projectile as far as I'm aware, besides just being able to throw his own projectiles, and the fact that he has two heavy projectiles, which I wish the game made more clarity of that. Also, I didn't talk about what I want nerfed or buffed with Rain Dog, did I? Dang it. Nerf Rain Dogs. This is why this is probably a draft, guys. That's why it's probably a draft. I've been out of it for a while. This is probably a draft. Making my draft going. What was I just talking about? Nerf on Rain Dog. What would I nerf on Rain Dog? Maybe add some cooldown to his neutral attack. He doesn't need to be able to spit those out forever. I think that's one thing I would say. Is any buff to Rain Dog? Now, he's got good anti-armor. The more I think about it, I think he should be up here. Just for 2v2s, I feel like he's good. Any buffs to Rain Dog? I can't think of any buffs to Rain Dog. Just because he does feel pretty good. I think I would buff it so that his up special does damage if he gets going fast enough without being thrown. Yep. No, don't do that. What would I buff on Rain Dog? I would buff it so his tether automatically activates if someone gets rung out when they are tethered, because I'm bad at remembering to hit that button at the right time. Yeah, buff that. This is a good one. Alright, Bugs Bunny, we were talking about he has 2 heavy projectiles, which I wish the game would make it better distinctions what are heavy projectiles and what can counter heavy projectiles. They had a glossary thing too in the game that they don't even make proper use of. So that's a missed opportunity. God, there is so much crap on my screen. Holy cow. I just realized that. I got all these ads. I got a chat bot. I got Gizmo jamming. Got me being dumb. Alright. So yeah, Bugs has decent anti-armor, especially because his heavy projectiles break armor. You can't parry his projectiles and have them be reflected, so that makes me sad. Yeah, Bugs feels pretty good. He's been toned down enough where I don't feel like he's as busted as he once was, but he's pretty good. I'm gonna put him top of A. He might be busted, for all I remember, but I think he'd be top of A. Is there any nerfs I would give to Bugs Bunny? I guess I would say for a nerf for Bugs Bunny, he doesn't necessarily need his Acme box. He's got a lot of different things he can whip out of nowhere. I don't think he needs his Acme box. If anything, stuff that comes out of the safe could be similar to what comes out of the Acme box anyways. So normally it's a sandwich, which is weird to me. It comes out of the safe. So yeah, we'll say that. And then any buffs? Maybe make his safe a little bit more durable again. Just a little bit, just the tiniest bit stronger. Yeah. Yeah. I think it sounds good. Tom and Jerry. So Tom and Jerry has some decent anti-armor with like his down attack on the ground, because he can kind of low profile things, which is nice to get in. Like say Superman's doing his up attack, Tom and Jerry can kind of go low and avoid it while also countering him. He's got great projectiles. He can mix you up. He takes a high skill ceiling, but man, he's got a lot of different projectiles and things he can mix you up with. So many different projectiles. Anti-projectile with his racket. He feels really good in a lot of ways. I think he used to be, I would say he wasn't really busted before. They've nerfed his up attack on the ground a little bit, but that thing's also good at just juggling people, so you gotta be careful with that. I feel like he's really good. I don't know if he's busted. I haven't... He might be too much for me to think of, like, but his frying pan, powerful. Most powerful down air in the game, it seems like. Yeah, I feel like he's good in a lot of ways. I think I'm gonna put him right there. I don't feel like sometimes he has trouble slugging with other characters the same way, but other than that, yeah, I feel like he's pretty good. Any nerfs I would give to Tom and Jerry? I should say they also. It's 2 people. Any nerfs I would give to Tom and Jerry? Make it so you can anti-projectile his cheese on the ground, because that thing sits there and you can't hit it with like any anti-projectile thing, and it's annoying. You just have to get hit by it, and it's stupid. Any buffs I would give to Tom and Jerry? Can't think of anything really. I feel like they've done a pretty good job of getting him in line for being good. I can't think of anything I'd want to buff on him at the moment, so I will say make down attack go farther based on how long you charge it. Yeah. Maybe it already does that. I don't know. That's all I got. I haven't played Tom and Jerry enough. Garnet. Okay. So Garnet has her own projectile in her gauntlets, which is a little tricky for me to juggle around a little bit between that and her side special on cooldown, because I actually kind of like the side special on cooldown too. So trying to time that properly feels a little weird. She has her rhythm's gonna get you. She has her dancing thing, which is like an anti-projectile, plus it adds speed boost, anti-armor, anti-projectile benefits. She's got her jab, which can transition into an armored attack, uppercut, or downwards punch. She's got her lightning ability, which is sometimes hard to utilize with other parts of her kit. Or other characters too. It's hard to synergize because there's not as much lightning in the game besides like Black Adam and that. I don't know. It feels hard to kind of get like her lightning stuff going to work together. Up special in the air feels like a good get off me maneuver. A little hard maneuver. Nair feels really good. I think they've changed it where her arms and legs don't have hurt boxes. I think that's been a bit like they're basically disjointed. Not super powerful as far as I can tell, but they feel like her Nair is pretty good too, just for disrupting enemies. So yeah, she's got, I don't know if she has the best anti-armor. Maybe in her jab it's decent, like the startup, because you get multiple punches off. But overall I feel like she's pretty good. But I think she has some buffs recently too in the last patch that I might not be thinking about, so I feel like she's probably gonna be higher than this right now. But putting her right here. It's a little hard to get some of her stuff going together. I don't know what kind of combo she has, so yeah. Again, this game has changed so much since it first came out. Like, I can't keep any of it straight. Okay, so Arya. So Arya in ones I hear is really good, and I could see that. But Arya's lightest character game with Gizmo and Harley. Arya has a similar thing with her side special where she throws out her dagger and she can teleport to it, or she does like a twirling anti-armor attack. She has good anti-armor all around with her down special that she can apply onto allies, which can be so good. So for 2v2s that can be really handy if you're fighting an armored crew. Not necessarily the best anti-projectiles, not really a lot of ways to get around them either. Has some interesting combo routes, but requires some good intuition and practice to get them off well. I know I'm not super great with her combo routes. I used to feel like you could just kind of do things with her, but she doesn't feel quite as easy as she once was. Even though she was kind of already said to be expert, she definitely feels a little more expert because it's hard to get some of those things to work together. She doesn't have the same length on her sword attacks like a Wonder Woman would have, so she doesn't quite benefit from her disjoints, but she also moves around interesting with her attacks on the ground, which can help with spacing and that. So overall, I feel like she's pretty good, but in twos, I feel like she's also going to struggle more, especially if you've come up against some projectile characters and you're not able to find your way to get in as easy. Like maybe against armor characters, she'll do a lot better, but against projectiles or anybody with decent spacing, I feel like she's going to struggle a lot more. Yeah. I could be wrong on that one too. There's gonna be a lot of take all this with a grain of salt. Take this with just a heaping cup of salt, my dudes. Velma. Velma is a character who was nerfed so much. I think probably more than she needed to be. There's so much I could say about Velma. Oh, I forgot to talk about what thing I would nerf or buff on Garnet too. Thing I would nerf or buff on Garnet. I think I got everyone else right. I'm not missing too many. Nerf and buff on Garnet. I kind of almost want to do a rework of her to... I'm just thinking about her kit, and it's so hard to kind of put together in my head, but I don't think that's like a nerf buff thing. That's a me thing. All right, that's a me not knowing how to put her kit together. Buff her side special to be a little bit faster, a little more controllable. Nerf her Nair to not have as much. No. Wait. Actually, you know what? Buff her neutral attack on the ground to go farther, because it doesn't really go very far when she uses it, and I never feel compelled to use it. I feel like her neutral attack on the ground is kind of meh compared to just being able to jab and stuff. I'm probably wrong on that, but I never really felt like her neutral attack on the ground is very good. And as far as a nerf for Garnet, yeah, nerf for Nair did not have as much priority. Yep. There we go. That's the one. That's all I got for her. Arya, buff or nerf? One buff or nerf for Arya. One buff, when you use her down attack on the ground, reflect projectiles if you roll into them. Yep. One nerf. Oh, she also has Face Steal, which can change other abilities you use. I forgot about that. I don't even know how her Face Steal works. That's how much I just don't even understand as a character. One nerf for Arya. She doesn't get pie. Yeah. She no longer gets pie when she rings out an enemy. No more pie for Arya. Anyways, let's go back to Velma. Yeah. Take that, Tony. Take that, Arya means. Velma. It's more like of a meat pie. Yeah, she doesn't get no... She gets the Impossible Burger pie instead. Velma, she... there's quite a few things with Velma. One is she doesn't really have any anti-armor, besides I think her up special, but that's so hard to hit anybody with. I think her up special is anti-armor. Up special in the air. Side special on the ground is pretty good for just steamrolling into people, so that could be handy. It's good for catching people off guard, trying to do a knowledge check. Velma's neutral attack has been nerfed so much that it's so bad. I don't understand. The way her neutral attack works is unless you charge it for a certain amount of time, it just kind of doesn't come out. Like you aren't hitting anything unless you charge it for a certain amount of time. So it takes so much startup. Her down attack on the ground, which is supposed to be a projectile, isn't. So it doesn't have any of the properties of a projectile, making her more of a swordy. She only has like her neutral attack or neutral special for projectiles. Like her neutral attack is also kind of a projectile, but it's a very short one and it requires too much startup. So you have to be so close to somebody while her book has a really long cooldown, but it's pretty cool. She can now slap people with her book when it's on cooldown. So there's that. Side special hits with her backside, which is nice now. Side special in the air, I mean. It is cool how you could do like a turnabout on an enemy who like is trying to juggle you. You can up special them into like an up air, and because up special will launch them up above you, and then you can hit them above you. So I've actually used that as like a reversal on enemy trying to juggle me upwards. I hit them with up special, then up attack, and they get launched out. So that's one interesting thing she's got going for her. But she lacks projectile, she lacks anti-projectile, she lacks anti-armor. She lacks a lot of things. Yeah. If there's one nerf I would give to Velma, that's hard because I feel like she just, for the entirety of the beta, she just got nothing but nerfs. For the beta and the start of the one nerf I would give her: using her neutral attack doesn't provide a explosive bubble onto your ally. And if there's only one buff I can give her, only one buff I can give her, I'm gonna break my rule because it's a kind of a toss-up between her down attack would have projectile properties and her neutral attack would have better initial range and overall longer range. Because I feel like that's a glitch that her down attack doesn't have projectile properties. It says it's a projectile, and if it was a projectile, it would actually have anti-projectile property too. It's going to be big projectile in the air, which counters other projectiles. So you could use it as an anti-projectile option. Plus, her neutral attack being so small feels like a glitch, because like you charge up like like you have to be inside somebody to get that to hit, unless you charge it up for like a half second, which at that point you're just getting bodied. Or even after you're charging it up, you're like, the timing you have to get that to work. Like there are other characters who have way better spacing than her for her being a swordy at this point. So you put her there. I might have to rearrange this more later. Taz. Where do we put Taz? God, man, I'm getting tired. Taz, where do we put Taz? Taz, my boy. So Taz is a character who eats people like Jake, and then he can spit them out. He's got some decent anti-armor with his, like, his down air. His down attack on the ground is actually a pretty good down anti-armor also because he jumps forward with it. So I like that move a lot for that. He's got some good launching power. He doesn't, sometimes it seems like he doesn't have to do like much damage at all just to finish someone off. He's got pretty good mobility. Anti-projectile with his ability to eat. He's got his own projectile abilities that he can do a little bit. He's got the Taz Tornado. Like, I feel like he's pretty good overall. Actually, I want to think about this. It's... Yeah. I don't even know much I want to say about him. I just feel like he's pretty good. Put him up in A tier above Batman. Got an interesting dash attack that just slides across the ground. You know, let's put Shaggy. Put Shaggy down here. Yeah. Do I think Harley is better than Shaggy? No, Shaggy's heavier. Shaggy has better anti-armor. Neither of them really have anti-projectile. Her projectiles aren't really that much better than his. They both require setup. Hers just might have a little more value. Yeah, I still put Shaggy above Harley. Yeah, I think I put Taz here. If there's any nerf I give to Taz... Oh.
Move your body.
Less distance on his down attack on the ground. Because sometimes he can go so far with that, and as an anti-armor, it seems pretty effective. Even just as a keep him off balance move. So maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit less distance on his down attack on the ground. And as far as any buffs I would give Taz... God, that's a tough one. Any buffs I would give Taz? Better up air sandwich. That sucker needs to have more scoop. Probably doesn't, but that's all I got right now. Okay, Iron Giant. Iron Giant is a character who got reduced in size and weight, which I felt like made him really bad. Iron Giant is a character who also has rage and makes him weird because of that. He had bolts, which are a strange strange armor system. I don't even know if they work the same way now, though. I haven't actually looked into that enough. He's got the cannonball, the second best cannonball in the game. First is Gizmo, obviously. Cannonball's pretty good, probably one of his best moves. Got spinning nair in the air. He doesn't really seem like he has much for anti-armor that's useful, just because he's so big he can't really catch anyone armored off guard. I think he mostly just has his I think it's his neutral attack on the ground that's like an anti-armor he might be able to use. I don't know if he has anti-armor otherwise. He doesn't really have anti-projectile, so he does kind of just rely on the fact that he's big and heavy to absorb blows rather than dealing with them, which isn't really great now that he's been made lighter. It just seems like anytime since the recent update, he gets bodied. Yeah, I'd probably put him here. Yeah, I feel like he just gets bodied now really hard. I feel like if there's one nerf I would do for Iron Giant, get rid of Rage. I would get rid of Rage because I feel like balancing Rage and balancing his normal kit just doesn't make sense. And if there's any buff I would give to Iron Giant, just put back just all of them after that. Like remove Rage and start from there is what I say. I don't think there's a single buff at that point, but remove Rage. You already have a character who's so weird. You don't need a comeback mechanic on top of that. You know, you don't need a Kazuya Mishima this guy. I mean, Rage is cool and all, but I feel like maybe you do just a whole mode of crazy broken stuff like Rage. And that, like, I kind of get probably why they're doing that, but Rage is too much on top of it to balance, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, alright. LeBron Jam. LeBron Jams. Mr. Jams. So, LeBron James has some balls that he can throw out a lot of. The dynamic of constantly getting balls and being able to throw out balls has a lot to deal with. It's kind of his own anti-projectile to be able to just keep throwing balls out, which I think he also has anti-projectile capabilities and like down special when he's doesn't have a ball, so that's an option as well. He has some pretty good ring out ability, pretty good combo ability. Don't know if I feel like he's busted, but I feel like he's pretty good all around. Pretty heavy. Like I said, he can ring out decently. Unless you can keep up his game plan, like his mix-up game plan, you can kind of shut him down a bit. And if you have any anti-projectile stuff on LeBron, it feels like he can suffer. And I guess that's one thing about LeBron James. If you don't have anti-projectile for LeBron ready, this could be bad. Even just a little bit of anti-projectile can kind of shut him down a bit. Like a Wonder Woman will shut him down pretty good. A Steven will shut him down. Finn will shut him down pretty good. Tom and Jerry will shut him down pretty good. Taz will shut him down pretty good. I don't know if any of these characters shut him down as well. Garnet will shut him down pretty good. Jacob might be able to shut him down pretty... Yeah, Jacob shut him down pretty good. So, like, I think just having a little bit of anti-projectile can kind of make him struggle, and you have to rely on a lot of other stuff. At least as far as whenever I face the LeBron, if I can just anti-projectile him a little bit, it can kind of throw off his game plan. So, I'll put him here. But characters like Shaggy might struggle with LeBron in play. If there's any buffs I would give to LeBron, buffs or nerfs, said before about like just revamping his way his ball works, but I don't know if I agree with that anymore. I like him as a character as he is, so. Any nerfs for LeBron? Maybe have a upper limit of how many balls he can have out at once. Like maybe 3, even 2 balls out at once at a time. I normally don't see more than 3, but sometimes I will see upwards of 3. So, like once you put out another ball after 2, the oldest one automatically gets deleted, something like that. Any buffs for LeBron? I feel like they've done a pretty good job of balancing him overall for a lot of different things. Maybe give him a little bit better anti-armor and like his down attack on the ground. I don't think that is anti-armor. I think I might have got rid of that at some point. Maybe side special without a ball could be anti-armor. Yeah. I don't know if he needs that, but yeah, we'll say down attack needs anti-armor if it doesn't. I don't think it does. I think I tried that before and it didn't work. I think they changed it. I could be wrong. I'm very tired. I don't know, I like LeBron though. I think he's a fun character. Morty. Alright, where do I put Morty here? Oh, my girlfriend's calling me. Uno momento, my dudes. Timesies and all that. Alright, I'm back. Whew. Alright, I'm getting tired here. That's part of the reason I figured I'd just do this. Get myself used to talking again. I don't have the stamina. Talking. Gotta stress test it. Whew. Whew. Yeah. Alright. Last we left off, we're on Morty. You look at Gimmo jamming over there, guys. Jamming. Morty. How do I feel about Morty? Morty is a character who feels like he's a lot of inputs per second. Like whenever, like he's got grenades and then he's shooting and then he's dirt and then he's up air and then he's side air and then he's down special and then he's up special and then he's side special again. But at this time in the air. He has decent anti-armor with his down attack on the ground. Plus it can cleanse people too, as far as I recall. He has some decent ability to do up-close attacks. It's something they kept trying to push with him, which I don't think is a great way to balance him as a character. Because he has too many projectiles, and they've always been like, we want to make him a bruiser. It's like, then you needed to not give him so many projectiles, man. This dude's got snake guns. He shoots one gun and multiple snakes come out. In what world is that fair, man? That's not a bruiser attack. He's got grenades. Grenades and guns. This dude, he's got too much. That's also why they made him a mage now. But yeah, they've been constantly trying to make him a bruiser. He's just not a bruiser, guys. I'm sorry. You didn't make a bruiser. And any amount of trying to make him a bruiser is just gonna... You either gotta make all of his projectiles crap, which is just gonna be Velma. Or... You get rid of the projectiles. Like, you gotta get rid of the projectiles at that rate, buddy. This dude summons dirt. It's like a random attack that comes on the ground at you. Like, this dude's a mage. You can't make him bruiser at all. Anyways, enough of my rants about Morty. He seems like a lot of inputs per second just to be usable. He's got to constantly be trying to like get out his grenades to kind of get out his other attacks. That's why part of the reason why he's like, he almost seems like he could be assassin. Just so many different things. Just mind my girlfriend quick. I don't know if he has much for anti-projectiles, so that's one way he could kind of get shut down a little bit. At least it seems like that. He has his own projectiles, but I don't know if he has great anti-projectiles himself. He has good support in his down special that I never remember to use, and his spaceship is an interesting way to be able to recover. Side special in the air is interesting. I don't know if he has great... I feel like he has good anti-armor with his down attack on the ground, like I was saying, but I don't know if he has great anti-armor as a whole. So while he's a lot of inputs and a lot of stuff that he can kind of throw at you, he is just kind of like a lot of scrambling. So I feel like in 2v2s, unless he's able to overwhelm you with a lot of crap he's throwing at you, you can kind of struggle. Do I think he's better or worse than Taz? He can be frustrating to fight, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he's absolutely busted or not. So Rick has the nerfs or buffs for Morty. Nerf for Morty. Well, you could get rid of some of his projectiles, and then give him melee moves if you want him to be a bruiser, you know. But if you want to keep his references and stuff. Yeah, I'm being such a brat. All right. What should we nerf on this guy? I'm pretty sure they did repeat move lockout on his up air a bit, which makes sense because being able to spam that bad boy, it might need more for all I know, but like if his up air has too much ability to spam, repeat move lockout a little bit more, or attack decay. You know, if attack decay comes back, that'd be another thing. Any buffs from Morty? Well, if you repeat move lockout it more, maybe give up air a little bit more launching power. Like really increase the repeat move lockout, but give us some good launch power. Yeah, that's what we'll say. All right, Rick. So Rick is also a mage. He's also kind of crazy like Morty. He's less about flailing, but is more about elaborate combos, which can be a lot to deal with. He's got lasers that he can spam. He's got portals he can utilize. Part of his combos too. He can polymorph people, make himself bigger and enemies into rain dogs. He's got skis when his portals are on cooldown. Good at botting people. The pelvic thrust, the side air, it is just so good. Feel like you can just spam that move so much and just get people. I don't know if he's got any great anti-armor abilities. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's super great with anti-armor. I don't think he is. He's got a pretty good jab. And before the jab reworks came in, like the ability for him to just do his laser slash and then kick and then rocket, like that, always fishing for that jab. Which, you're still fishing for jabs on this game unless you're like Gizmo. But, got some decent edge guarding ability with his little fart gun. But yeah, I don't think he has super great anti-projectile or anti-armor. He has the ability just to mix up stuff a lot, and that can kind of just throw enemies off guard, along with his own projectiles that he has a pretty good supply of, like with his ray gun. Probably put him a similar spot. I don't know, which one would I say is better? I think I feel like they're both in a similar area. They all both feel similar in some ways, yet so different. Yeah, I think I put him, well, I think I put him down here, actually. I feel like he doesn't have quite as much as Morty does as a whole, especially when it comes to, besides like the pelvic thrust, I feel like Morty can still slug better. Yeah. Any nerfs for Rick? Nerf his pelvic thrust. Repeat move lockout if need be. Because that thing is still so good. Any buffs for Rick? Make his fart gun stronger. Make it a kill move. Can't ever hit with that thing. So at least make it potent. fart. Make the fart potent. All right. All right, Stripe. Well, he's one of my mains, so I'm not gonna. I'll rate him later. I like Black Adam. I can't do that right now. My voice was gone before I even started this, let alone now. All right, Black Adam. I played a bit of Black Adam back during the beta when I was trying to grind out Candy Corn, so that was fun. I actually liked him back then. He kind of felt like what Ganondorf would be if Ganondorf was Ganondorf. He has a lot of interesting ways to approach attacks. The clap is so good. I'm pretty sure that breaks armor. And as far as an anti-armor move goes, that thing is so good. That clap is already good as it is. I'm pretty sure it still breaks armor, which is just ridiculous. Because it's just so good anyways. Makes it one of the best anti-armors in the game. Unless they've changed that. I should... Yeah, nah, I'm not going to look at that now. But yeah, he has his down special is a decent anti-projectile. He's got some combo routes and ability to ladder people up into the sky pretty well. I think my girlfriend's home. He's got some interesting projectiles, like on the ground with his neutral special and down special in the air. Hi, Dragon. Love, love, love. I'm going to try to finish up here somewhat quickly if I can. I have been going for 2 hours already. I wasn't necessarily planning on going for super long today just because of reasons. Not being super used to this, but I wanted to get on this. So anyways. But yeah, I feel like doesn't Black Adam, isn't he supposed to have like a magnet ability in the air? Like his neutral special in the air is a magnet? Projectile magnet ability, which doesn't seem like it's that great anyways, but no, I think it's just lightning. I think they might have got rid of that move. But yeah, he has decent ability to handle projectiles with that bubble. That bubble is pretty good for anti-projectile. He has good anti-armor with that clap. He has good ability to launch and combo people over. He's had his weight reduced because he's a little bit too potent and too tough to kill, so I feel like Black Adam's one of the main characters that will teabag. I don't know why, but when we've played through multiverses, it's like takes a Black Adam to teabag. I don't know why that's a thing. I feel like he's really good. I think I put him up here actually. He's at least top of A. Got a lot of good things he can do. He's just kind of sluggish. I feel like this is one of the main issues he might have. But he also has the ability to fly around with his up specials, so he can kind of position himself in ways that most other characters can't. So yeah, I feel like he's just pretty good. He's a pretty good character. Kind of fun too, actually. He's got his neutral attack on the ground that just blows people up. He's got his down attack in the air, which is just sleek. This dude's swagging out up there. Hate him. Anyways, is there any nerfs to Black Adam? Nerf the clap to not break armor? God, that would make him... Yeah, nerf the clap to not break armor. Like, even if you have the fully charged perk, you add on to that, that would still... You could just do that and it'd still be pretty good. I could also be misremembering that. And I'm too lazy to check even though I have the game up right now because I would have to alt-tab and I don't want to. And it would take time. So, any buffs I would do to Black Adam? Up special, make him go faster. Make him zoom a little bit. Just a little bit, why not? Okay, Marvin. Marvin the Martian. This dude is shenanigans incarnate. He has ray gun that... it used to be where he could just hold it out the whole time, but they removed that ability. Oh, want me to boot or anything? Okay. Dragon got me a snack, which I'll probably eat here shortly. All right, Marvin. Shenanigans incarnate. I've had so many moments with this guy that are just some of the best moments in the game. Not necessarily combat, exactly. Not necessarily like the best I've ever played. Just the most bizarre encounters ever. Like, I've mentioned these stories a few times that I wish I had saved clips of. One time, this Harley, I had just rung her out. She came back, and I had a Taz on my team, and she hits me, and I'm like hovering off the left side of the stage, and Taz hits with his side special, aiming her at me. And as I see that, I'm like, I'm gonna aim my ray gun downward, and she goes slowly floating over, hits the ray gun. Actually, this is no other way for you guys. She comes slowly floating over, and here I am, and I go, pew, and she goes, and she goes, ooh, and just slowly falls down, just in enough hits done where she couldn't do anything, and she gets wrung out. And that must have felt horrible for her, but that's some shenanigans right there. Another time, finished up a match with a black this is in beta, by the way. Finished up a match with a black, not like it matters that much, but it's that long ago. Finished up a match with a Black Adam on my team and at Scooby-Doo's mansion, and we're both just standing there, and we're like, yeah, we're standing there epic like, and I hit the neutral special on my button just for the heck of it, and suddenly, without quite realizing it, I had my rocket still going that turns around, flies off, hits the lever, drops us both into the pit as we segue into the end screen stats. So, like, could not have scripted that even if I wanted to. I wish I had saved clips of that, man. This dude is like, that explains what Marvin's all about. Shenanigans. He can be super annoying and super oppressive with all the projectiles he's got. Doesn't really have a lot of anti-projectile or anti-armor himself. He just has a way of just being oppressive in ways that I don't necessarily know if there's a good way around at times. His side special in the air is pretty good too. He's not necessarily as light as some other characters, and for his size too, that can make him a little bit hard to deal with. He's not exactly fast or anything, but I feel like with how oppressive he can be, I think I'm putting up. Besides being annoying, I don't know if it would necessarily make him. Because yeah, he can be oppressive, but you get like decent anti-projectile on him, and he probably is going to struggle. That's like one reason to have counter swapping. Like, yeah, I'll just get a character who can hit his stuff with my, like I picked Gizmo and hit him with his stuff with my umbrella. So I feel like if you have something like that, it can make it tougher for him to deal, but it's not going to be end all be all for him either. And it's also a higher skill ceiling to it, I would say, because you want to kind of try to keep in mind all the shenanigans he can do and how you want to put them together. So. Hey there, Devdo. How you doing? How you dilly doing? Multi-jassies indeed. What you been up to? I don't know if what I'm even rambling about here, but thanks for stopping in. If there's any nerfs I would give to Marvin, it's going. Okay, it's going pretty good for me. I'm just tired and all. I got double scoped the other day, so that was fun. You play multiverses at all, or you a multiverses fan? I've only got like 1,000 hours in it, so. But yeah, any nerfs I want to give to Marvin. It's hard to say. Nah, you don't play it, that's fair. Well, then you won't be missing out come the... When is this closing? On the 28th, I think it is. No, it's probably the 30th. Probably got 7 days left. Any nerfs for Marvin? I think the buffs I would give him make his ray guns last longer, but make his ray guns do more damage to him. Immediate damage. I think that'd be the changes. SSBM, SSBU. Nice. Nice. I do need to try to give melee a bit more of a I have to learn wave dashing though, and that just sounds like it'd be tough. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think that's what I do with Marvin. Nerf his ray guns to just do so much more damage to himself, but let him last longer so you can just stick him out more. It's not that bad, TBH. Yeah, probably. It probably just takes a little bit of practice. Yeah. It probably just takes actual practice, which I'm not about that. Plus, when you learn, it's so fun to mess around. I'm sure it is. I mean, it also has rollback. Like, melee actually has rollback, so that sounds pretty good. Joker Man. Where am I going to put Joker Man at? He's got some... He doesn't really have a whole lot for anti-armor. Doesn't really have a whole lot for anti-projectile. He's got some interesting combos and juggles. His side special in the air is pretty good. His bazooka's a good launcher. Slippy is a crazy thing. Yeah, Slippy's so good. The fact that Slippy exists is just brings a smile to my, I don't know what heart. Just my general heart. Yeah, we'll say that. I wanted to say like enthusiast heart. I don't know. Mod happy heart. Love me some mods. Which MVS Infinite, guys. Yeah, Joker's got his nice big bazooka blast. He's got some good ways to kind of keep people at bay. I think they've definitely slowed him down a little bit. Nerfed his balloon. Well, I don't know if they slowed him down, but they did slow down his dash on the ground because that thing would go such a far distance. So I think that's part of the nerfs that he's received over the past year, I guess. He's got his cards too for good projectiles. He's pretty heavy too. I'm pretty sure he's heavier than Batman. He's got good like I said, good juggle and KO potential with that. I think just his lack of ability to deal with some characters who are armored or projectiles himself can be a little tricky. Seems to be a theme for a lot of characters. If I were to put him anywhere, probably put him... I haven't played with him as much recently. I think he's been nerfed since a lot of this stuff, but put him here. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Totally makes it. Yeah, totally makes sense. There's any nerfs I would give Joker? If his balloon is still stronger than Harley's bat, I would nerf that. His balloon doesn't be stronger than Harley's bat at the very least. I know a lot of people say Harley's busted, but I'm the minority. I'm the casual here, alright? Harley's not busted. Harley's a queen. If there's any buffs I would give the Joker, you know what? Down special is anti-armor. Yeah. Yeah, down special with the cannon or the jackbox, it breaks armor. I don't think you're ever going to use it for that because it takes so much wind up. So don't. Yeah, I'm just trying to finish this up. Anyways, Banana Guard. Oh, let's leave Banana Guard. So Banana Guard is a joke character, but man, is he fun. He kind of just combos into a bunch of things. He's got his side special, which is so good at zoning out people. I don't think he's really got any anti-projectile besides like a signature perk. I don't think he's really got super great anti-armor either besides his down attack on the ground, which might be a little hard to hit with, though it's doable, usable. He's got some good ring out potential. He's got some good mobility. I feel like he's just pretty good as a whole. Probably I feel like he's up here. I feel like he's pretty good as a whole. Just his ability to get around and just do damage, and even if he doesn't necessarily have the best like anti-projectile, anti-armor, I feel like his mobility helps with that, and his zoning ability were like one of the best spears in the game, if not the best. There's only like 3 spears in the game, but he's the best spear in the game. If there's any nerfs I would give Banana Guard, maybe nerf butt bomb so it doesn't ring out so well, because I feel like I can fish for that a little bit and just ring people out. It should be mentioned I probably should be raking him later because I feel like he is one of my mains. So, but it's a little late now. 1 week left of MVS, indeed. How you doing, Cheese? I also did use the for anybody curious, I did use the MVS tool for that, and so far I still seem to have access to my Steam. So far, so they haven't used the information to steal my Steam from me yet, so we're going good with that. For anybody who wants to pick up where they left off, yeah, I used the Glemium to get that the keyboard for Gizmo. I had to get it. Yeah, any nerfs for Banana Guard though? Yeah, nerf the butt bomb because it seems like it can blow people up. Any buffs for Banana Guard? I don't know if he needs a buff, but make his up special go faster. Just because helicopter. Yeah, I should have braided him later because he's actually probably one of my mains. Which I'll do Agent Smith because I like Agent Smith, but I feel like he's definitely not one of my mains. If for no reason, then he's bad. Actually, yeah, I think the only reason why I put Banana Guard as one of my mains because I feel like I can do well with him, so that's why I put him up there. This dude busted. All right, Agent Smith. So Agent Smith has decent anti-projectile with his gun. His gun is used mostly for melee, which kind of works for the Matrix. They got rid of the armor on his down attack on the ground. He doesn't really have any anti-armor, as far as I know of. He's kind of hard to get a lot of his moves to connect well. He's a fun character, but I don't feel like he's good. And twos, I feel like he's kind of a little bit flaily, because he's trying to worry about his spacing and stuff, but there's so much going on, and I feel like he has to rely on his gun so much for that. At least that's what I find, because like his dash attack is hard to connect with. He doesn't really have good anti-armor. He doesn't have the best zoning, or not zoning, disjoints or range with his attacks. He just kind of slugs at you. So yeah, I feel like his gun is one of his best tools, and he has to kind of rely on it too much just for a decent range, and otherwise because he has very specific hitboxes that aren't the biggest. His chop is pretty good for keeping people off balance, but it also feels kind of weak. So you're not going to ring people out with it, and then you're going to get it stale. Up attack is a little hard to hit with. Up air is easier, it feels like, but also not the most devastating. Yeah, he doesn't feel super good. You can put him here. Any nerfs for Agent Smith? It's hard to say because I don't feel like he needs any nerfs. Make his side air even weaker so that it's just a constant combo tool. You just chop, smash, chop, punch. Yeah, that's it. As far as any buffs for Agent Smith, Ooh, just one buff. Just one buff for Agent Smith. Give him back his armor and his down attack. He needs his armor back, man. That's just rude taking his armor away. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have that armor anymore. I could be wrong. I'm probably very wrong. I'm gonna have to go back and check some of this stuff, but these guys are technically my mains, so I'll do them later. Beetlejuice. ASB Beetlejuice. Alright, Beetlejuice. So he's got like an anti-projectile in his dash attack. I think his down attack does break armor now, though it takes a little bit of startup. He's got some crazy moves he can do. He can kind of just mash out aerials, is something I've noticed from him when I'm facing a Beetlejuice and I'm having trouble. That dude just starts mashing out buttons and I can't get near him. Whatever that means. He has some crazy stuff about him. He's a fun guy. He's got a ability to kick beetles at you. You can set bombs to control space on the ground. I don't feel like he's that great though. Besides being able to mash out aerials, I feel like he's just good. Nothing super special, just crazy. I think he's better than Harley though. Like he's heavier than Harley. He's got better anti-projectile, probably better anti-armor. Harley's only got like one anti-armor. I know it's probably crazy for me to say that, but I don't feel like Harley's that great. I feel like Harley's just good. Put him right there. Any nerfs I would give to Beetlejuice. I would nerf his... I would nerf his ability to spam aerials at me. I don't even know what that would mean, but... nerf his side attack from having more end leg if he misses it. Yeah. And then any buffs for Beetlejuice. I think Bubble Gup's down attack on the ground should have less wind up. There's probably other stuff for him too, for both of those, but I think those make sense. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right. So I realized like how much I already knew how much I didn't know I was going to be getting to this, but I'm looking at Powerpuff Girls. I never know about these characters so much. I didn't play them so much, so Powerpuff Girls have a really interesting dynamic with being able to swap out the leader to get like Blossom is middle ground, Bubbles is speed, Buttercup is damage or ring out potential, I believe. Along with that too, they have a few special things with their neutral special with each one. Blossom does Ice Breath. Bubbles does Scream, which is an anti-projectile, and Buttercup does Laser Eyes, which is anti-armor. Along with that, they have some really good combo routes. Dash attacks is pretty good. Dash attack in the air with a signature perk, which I could not tell you about all the combo routes these characters do until they're using them on me all the time, and then I just get scared and I'm trying to figure out where their hitbox is because there's like 3 of them, but one of them's over there, but that's not the one I want to hit. I want to hit these 2, and then I have to actually pay attention. And it's like, I have to actually try against these characters. They feel pretty good. They're not that light too, so they that helps them out a bit. They've got the telephone split up and come back together attack, the down attack on the ground, which is good for juggling people up. Got some good ring out potential. I feel like they're really good. I feel like with their ability to just kind of do range and just keep people off balance, they'd probably put them... Oh, they gotta be up here, right? It's probably too much brain power for me to use them. Put them up here. Because I can't think of too much that I would do to even buff for them. Oh, it's actual nerfs for them. God, that's tough too. Make them a little bit lighter. Yeah, make them just a little bit lighter. As far as any, for a nerf, any buffs for them. Make Bubbles scream better because she's my favorite. Yep. Nubia. So Nubia is not as good of a spear as a banana guard, as controversial as that might be. She's pretty good. She's got really good zoning ability. Her neutral special is good anti-armor, plus being able to just catch people from a distance because it is a grab. So it, yeah, it's pretty good for both anti-armor and just zoning. It's kind of oppressive, so you have to try to get above her for that, but she's also got some decent anti-aerials, so that can make her hard to approach. I think her down attack, or is it her down special? I think it's her down special does anti-projectile. Yeah. She's got some really good ways to juggle people and good ways to mix people up, but she's a little slow and can kind of get shut down by projectiles a little bit. I think that's like her main two issues. But if you can just kind of keep people at a distance there and just keep them from trying to get in, and if you could just somehow avoid their projectiles, she's going to do you well. But I don't think she's that busted. Any nerfs I would do for Nubia? Reduce the angle of her neutral special, because that thing can kind of just go up pretty high too, and that could just be rough for anybody who's a little bit slower trying to jump over it. Any buffs I would give her? Make her down special activate faster. Yeah. Activate down special faster, nerf her neutral special a little bit. I think those would be the two. Alright. Raven. Raven is a character who feels pretty good. A lot of these newer characters too I'm not super well informed on because I wasn't playing that much. And I wasn't also keeping up with the multiverse scene that much with the full release. I was just playing the game more. So Raven is a character that feels pretty good. She's got some really interesting projectile stuff with like her bird she can send out and then she can fly over to it, and she's got a rock she can throw up into the air. Neutral attack in the air is a good way to juggle people. Just a lot of interesting juggle ability. I think she has an anti-projectile, but I don't think she has much for anti-armor. I can't remember where anti-projectile would be. I feel like she's supposed to have an anti-projectile. But yeah, she has some pretty good get-off-me maneuvers, and she's pretty good at just slugging it out with characters, even though she has quite a few projectiles and she's a mage. And I feel like her ability to float around and maneuver too can help her kind of avoid projectiles, even if she doesn't have... Plus her own projectiles too kind of help control space, so I feel like that could be good for her. But yeah, I don't think she has much for anti-projectile or anti-armor overall. And maybe her ability to control space doesn't help the fact that she's not the fastest character, so... Where would I put her? I'll put her there. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Any nerfs I would do for Raven? Maybe... a little more wind-up time on her Nair. I feel like with all the other abilities she has, her Nair is able to juggle people, and how long it sticks out to kind of lets her just float around with it. And any buffs I would give her... No way, she can kind of move fast in the air. Like when you dodge into things. That's right, because the way her... Whatever. I was just thinking about like some of her combos I was doing and trying to think like, what would I buff on her? And then I remembered how much I would dash into people and just blast them off the side of the stage where they had time to react. Can't think of any buffs for her at the moment. Besides, whatever her anti-projectile is, make it better. And if she doesn't got one, make it her neutral special, where she does the mind thing. Yeah, make that destroy projectiles if it doesn't already. It might. I don't remember. Marceline. So Marceline is the special. Her up special has pretty good priority. Down special has pretty good priority. She's got some pretty strong moves. She's got some decent ways to juggle you up. I don't know if she has anti-armor or anti-projectile. Yeah, I have not used her much, but I know her specials are busted, and that's all you need to use with her. Her up special has pretty good priority where she just dives up at you. She can ring you out with that. The People's Elbow, the down special, is so powerful. So much priority. Side special where she flies at you, grabs you, which would be an anti-armor move. Flies at you, grabs you, and slaps you. Does so powerful. Yeah, she's pretty good. I know she's also got some decent normals too, but just those specials alone put her like right here. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. This is probably very uninformed because I'm just thinking about her specials. But any nerfs for Marceline, reduce the priority on part of her down special. Because her down special has like so much priority when she's just diving at you super slow, you can't stop her. She's just like, yeah, what you gonna do about it? How you gonna try hitting me, or you gonna trade and you're gonna lose? So like high priority on the elbow, lower priority on the legs. So that if you hit her in the legs when she's trying to elbow drop you to death, you at least don't lose out to that. If you try to trade with her elbow, bad idea. I think that'd be a decent nerf. Any buffs for her, make her music guitar reflect projectiles or break projectiles or something if it doesn't. Yeah. Man, this is getting so far off base the longer it goes because I don't even know if that's a thing already. I haven't played enough of this guy a little bit. Yeah, I play a little bit of this guy, that's enough. So, the two characters that came out in Season 5 and last season. Well, no, technically Season 6 is last season, but Season 6 is the same as Season 5, but on repeat. Okay. So, he has quite a few different grab moves, which makes him good for anti-armor. He's a tank. He can deal some pretty good... he has some ability to use his fish to just zone you out too. He's got so many different angles he can kind of attack you from. Yeah, he seems pretty good as a whole. I don't know if I want to say he's busted though. He's kind of slow. I don't know if he's really got a great combo game. But he feels pretty good. I like just all the different angles he can come at you from. And yeah, I think we're gonna put him... That's gotta be better than Marvin. Well, no, he doesn't gotta be better than Marvin. I'll put him here. I haven't played him enough, so I'm just putting him there. My A tier is big. B tier is more like the middle tier here. Maybe I should. Here, let's try to fix this a little bit. Yeah, we'll fix this a little bit. Yeah, these are the people who are just solid. And good tier. I mean, Taz has gotta be better than. Well, Taz doesn't have quite the zoning or the angles. Yeah, this looks good. I think I can put these girls down here too. They have a lot of combo routes, but I don't know if they're that gross, so. Alright, Lola Bunny. So, she's a bruiser. She's got a lot of different combo things she do. She has a ball she can use like a Brawn that can kind of throw out on the regular. She has some... I think she's got some anti-projectile. She's got some decent anti-armor too with her multi-hit maneuvers. And yeah, she feels pretty good as a whole. I don't know if she's busted yet, but she's fun to play. Yeah, she's got her own projectile. I think she's got anti-projectile. She's got some crazy stuff she can do. I haven't played her enough, but putting her up here. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do one nerf or buff for this guy, which I don't even know what it would be. One nerf for Aquaman. Make his shark less scary. One buff for Aquaman. Make his pufferfish cuter. Lola Bunny. One nerf for Lola Bunny. Maybe nerf her side attack in the air a bit. Seems pretty strong. Like it can ring people out with while also already just being a good approach option. One buff for Lola Bunny. Oh, she's got some strong KO moves already. Her ball is also able to good to juggle with people. I'm convincing myself more and more she can go up higher. She's also pretty fast, yeah. One buff for Lola Bunny. I don't know what I'm doing. Trying to think of a buff to give her. I'm just thinking all the good stuff she already has. Make her side special easier to slide off the ledge. I found you could do a slide thing with it where if you hit it right at the ledge, you'll slide off and you'll kick somebody. Make that easier to do. That's the one buff. Alright, so these characters are ones that I'm more familiar with. Let's start it with my least favorite out of these, and that's Jack. I mostly started playing Jack during the season where he came out, and everyone else was playing Jack, and he felt so good with some of his abilities. Like, he got focused so fast, and he could just do so much crap with it. Not to mention he had such ability to zone people out. It was so hard to figure out, so I needed to play him just to figure him out. I won a lot of games that season with this guy. However, they have nerfed him to quite a bit since then. They nerfed a lot of the grosser parts I found about him. Like his down special in the air doesn't hit behind him as well. They nerfed his side special with focus to not just automatically bounce back and forth so he can control the air without hitting anybody. Yeah, they nerfed him quite a bit. He doesn't have quite the kill power of some other characters, but he has a good ability to control space. The jab reworks nerfed his jab, which his jab with his foot was so long anyway, so reducing the priority that was good because oftentimes he could just jab and then roll away even if he misses, or he could just keep spamming jab out to just out zone people with it. It was pretty gross. So now he's in a place where it feels pretty good, so he still feels really good at controlling space. He has his neutral air is both an anti-projectile and anti-armor. Nair is a decent anti-armor. He doesn't really have much for projectiles himself. He has a counter move on the ground, though. I feel like he's pretty good, though. Still feel like he's pretty good in 2s. Like, his ability to control space is just good for 2s. And he's not exactly the weakest character out there, so I'm putting him there. Not quite as good as these guys, but there. Any nerfs for Samurai Jack? He has been nerfed quite a bit since he first came out. So maybe Jab doesn't need to reach as far as it does. Jab is still so long with him. Like one of the best jabs in the game still. So yeah. Any buffs for Jack? Increase up special hitbox size. That feels weirdly hard to hit with. At least the scooping part of it. I don't know how I feel about that, actually. Yeah, we'll send it. Okay. So which one of these characters would be next? I guess we'll say Stripe. So Stripe. Stripe has a chainsaw. Stripe has a chainsaw. That's all you gotta know. This guy's crazy. You have to play him like an absolute idiot. That is the best way to play Stripe. He has Dynamite, which had to be nerfed because you could just keep pulling it out and just blowing yourself up to deal damage to enemies. Hurts himself, sure, but man, that thing is crazy. Skateboard is an anti-projectile. Up Special is an anti-projectile, so both those are pretty good to make use of. He doesn't have the best anti-armors. Like, I don't think he has one decent anti-armor. Some of his spike is pretty strong, though. His buzzsaw can be a good combo with that. It's a good edge guard, as far as I'm concerned. His ability to just be able to do crazy stuff and just attack from various angles makes him pretty good. I think just the fact that he struggles really bad with people with armor can be a problem. And I think if you maybe like you pair his fully charged armor break perk with some of his abilities might help too. But yeah, his ability to combo though is really good too. He's got the auto combos much like a Finn. But yeah, I think I put him here. I still think he's really good. I don't necessarily think he's busted like some of these characters, but I think he's really good. And he plays like an absolute buffoon, and he's my anti-Jack, you know. He's the character I used to be an anti-Jack character, because Jack didn't have armor, and Stripe was crazy, and Jack can't handle that kind of crazy. I think. I don't know. Okay, we'll do Jason Voorhees next. So, Jason Voorhees is a tank. He feels like a Jason Voorhees, I think, is one way to put it. Oh yeah, one nerf or buffer Stripe. Nerf or Stripe. Maybe make the startup time between skateboarding a little bit longer for Stripe, because being able to spam that skateboard feels a little busted. I mean, it's not that good, but I'll say that. Yeah, stop the skateboard spam. Any buff for Stripe, make Up Special easier to do the direction with it. Yeah, so it's easier to do anti-projectile with it. Or, ooh, his down attack on the ground could also have faster startup between... down attack on the ground could use faster startup between jumping back and shooting the boombox, but that's not a big deal either. Yeah. Maybe make it break armor. Having something with breaks armor would be good too. I don't know. I play him a lot though, so of course I want him to be buffed in those ways. Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees plays like a Jason Voorhees. He's just kind of walking at you and you're like, "How, look at this big dumb slow idiot who can't do nothing." Then he teleports behind you and hits you with a huge axe, and then he puts you into a bed and crunches you. And his charge up with his neutral attack on the ground is very imposing because you don't want to get hit by it. In ones, I feel like he's really good just because of how hard it is to just for him to focus in on him and avoid his attacks while still being able to get in yourself. Maybe I might be overthinking that a little bit now that I think about it. Yeah, maybe he's not that good in ones. Anyways, but yeah, he's a very imposing character. He could take so much damage. He's about as heavy as Superman, just a little bit under. He's slow, but his neutral special in particular is an anti-armor because it's a command grab. Along with that, he has armor on startup, so it's an armored command grab. So it's also an armored aerial move, which is pretty good to have. So it's hard to beat out. His dash attack is anti-projectile, so that can also be handy. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something with him that I wanted to mention. He's able to combo. His jab is one of the best in the game too. I feel like that's just a good jab. His ability to combo that into a side special too is really good. Almost feels too good. Feels busted. Yeah, he's got a lot of power. I think the main thing is he's juggle food, and that can give him a hard time. But he has quite a few tools to make it easier on himself, along with being just all that combined with in a twos environment. I feel like makes him a pretty valuable partner. I don't know if it makes him busted though, but I feel like he's got to be up here. I feel like there's a reason I use him. I feel like he's one of my top ones because of this reason. I think he's got. I almost want to put him above. Nah, maybe not that. Oh, mate. He feels pretty good. I don't think he's got the. I might be over exaggerating this. The fact that he gets hit a lot and he's juggle food, and I'm just like, but yeah, he can take so many hits. But yeah, he's just taking hits at times, and that's not necessarily good. But I want to. Yeah, any nerfs I want to do to him. I don't know if he needs an armored aerial. As cool as it is, as much as I like it, it feels a little bit out of the skew of balanced compared to what other characters can do. I think the only other character that does that is like Shaggy with Rage. Any other buffs I want to give to him? You can also nerf his jab combos. Jab to side special combo, something with that more. Because those still feel really good. They've already tried to nerf it though. Any buffs I would give him? It's kind of hard to say. Make backpack easier, a little bit faster. Yeah. Buff his little backpack attack down special on the ground to activate faster. That's what we'll say. That's a tougher one for him. But Superman. Superman was buffed to the point where he's faster now. Like Superman was my main when I first played the game, throwing people into the sun. They removed that ability on him. Which is fair. It was a little bit too easy to cheese certain people. I still miss that ability though, but Superman has anti-projectiles with his neutral special. He has anti-armor with his multi-hits and his down attack on the ground. He has a lot of armor moves. He has laser eyes for zoning. He has speed now. He's juggle food, which I don't feel like is that much of a problem anymore with his increased speed, but that was like one of the main things, that he was easy to juggle before. I don't know if they needed to increase his speed. I could be wrong. I haven't played much online with him or against him even. Yeah, he just feels good. I think put him here. A lot of S characters here, huh? I put him above Wonder Woman? I think so. He's just so heavy too, so he can take so many hits. Yeah, I feel like he's good. He's really good. Then any nerfs I would give Superman. God. Maybe reduce that speed buffs they gave him recently. I don't know if he necessarily needed them. Yeah, because I felt like he already kind of had his own ability to have burst speed with his dodges, which are really fast. Any buffs I would give him his throws back. His ability to throw up and down again. Yeah, even if they're weak and stuff. Yeah. Okay, final character, Gizmo. My main that I have not played this much past season, they did nerf him a bit, which they kind of had to. He has pretty good anti-armor with his down attack on the ground. He has anti-projectile with his down special and side special in the air. He has Car for disrupting people that he can also use to dive onto. He has Arrow, one of the best projectiles in the game, can hit across the screen. You can bring people out if they're near the edge of the screen and you manage to aim it well. Popcorn and music notes are one of the most obnoxious walls you can throw up. Butt Bomb is not very strong, and Widow Feet is down at air are not very strong, but they're good at disrupting people. Up Air is a really good way to catch people off guard and keep them juggled. He has probably not one of the greatest jabs just because it's so small, but it's good at beating people out a little bit. So, what else can I say about him? I feel like he's really good though in a 2's environment. I feel like the way he's been balanced though makes all of his signature perks kind of bad. None of them feel like they work very well with how he's balanced. Like the Popcorn and Car one, because the Car will blow up after only a short amount of time, so he can't really butt bomb his Car. His Popcorn doesn't last that long, so he can't really butt bomb his Popcorn, so that signature perk doesn't make sense. There's one where he's on the allies' backs where attacks charge faster, but they've nerfed those attacks so much that it kind of doesn't do that much. So charging those attacks isn't really that handy. And then you also have Rhythm's Gonna Get You, which is just kind of hard to get off in general. So his signature perks, that's one of my biggest gripes, is that his signature perks feel kind of meh. Which doesn't make them bad, it's more of a personal preference for me that I kind of wish there was a little bit different way to play him with those. That being said, I feel like he's really good. They've nerfed him a lot. To the point I'm not sure, because he can't slug like a lot of these other characters can. But he's got a lot of good tools yet. I think I put him over Black Adam. And this is mostly in a 2's environment and that, but yeah, I feel like as a support person with the ability to have Arrow, you can shoot across the map to give your teammate a breather on an enemy trying to combo them. Ability to throw a Popcorn as a wall to kind of disrupt enemies that are trying to get around. It gives them something they have to worry about. If you have any anti-projectile though, that can kind of settle that down pretty quick, but he's also got the anti-armor to make up for it. So yeah, I feel like he's pretty good. I feel like I put him there. Is it him being so light and lacking some ability to slug makes me put him here, but he's pretty good still. He needed to be nerfed in a lot of ways. He was like, his being able to get a refund on his arrows was a bit obnoxious in the past. Like, oh, you're gonna let me fully charge this and have it fully charged gets me a refund? Well, sure, boy howdy, I am just gonna do this thing I was gonna do anyways and get rewarded for it. So yeah, that's my tier list. Naturally, my main 5 are up here at least. Fortunately, I'm bad though, so I can't make use of them. Okay, yeah. Any nerfs for Gizmo? Maybe have more fall off distance to the arrow where it loses. Yeah, more fall off distance for the arrow, so it doesn't. You can't. It's harder to snipe people across the screen. I think I'll say that. I don't necessarily want it for myself, but that can be a bit much for. Maybe a fall off damage even. Something like that. And a buffs for Gizmo. Have his car stay out a little bit longer so I can butt bomb it at least. That'd be nice. Or maybe add down attack. No, I guess that would be too busted. Yeah, have the car stick out longer. I'd like that. I like to be able to have the car stick out a little bit longer after I get off it. So yeah, that's my tier list. And I've been going at this for 3 hours now. I think it's a good time to call it. Kind of figured it'd take me a little while to do this. Alright, let's go find someone to host. Who's doing stuff on